Hello everyone, my name is Arathi and I am excited to introduce the topic of today's video. In this video, we will be discussing about extracting and parsing data from JSON. Here are the topics that I will include in this video. Introduction to JSON, representing data with JSON, extracting data from JSON, parsing data from JSON, application and conclusion. Let us start with introduction to JSON. What is JSON? JSON or JavaScript Object Notation is a text-based format for representing structured data similar to a dictionary or a list. It is used for exchanging data between different systems such as a web application and a server. JSON is easy for both humans and machines to read and write, and it is widely used in web development and other fields. Why JSON used for? The first one is lightweight. JSON is a lightweight format that can be easily transmitted over the network, which makes it ideal for exchanging data between web applications and servers. Readable. JSON is human readable and easy to understand, which makes it easy to debug and troubleshoot data related issues. Flexible. JSON can be represent variety of data structures such as objects, arrays and primitive data types, making it flexible to use in different scenarios. Widely supported. JSON is widely supported by programming languages, web frameworks and APIs, which makes it popular choice for exchanging data between different systems. The last one is easy to parse. JSON can be easily parsed and generated by JavaScript, which is commonly used in web development. This allows developers to easily work with data in JSON format within their web applications. Representing structured data with JSON. Syntax of JSON. JSON has a simple structure based on two main data structures. The first one is objects. An object in JSON is a collection of key value pairs enclosed in curly braces. The key is always a string and the value can be any valid JSON data type, such as a string, number, boolean, array or another object. Here is an example. The second one is arrays. An array in JSON is an ordered list of values enclosed in square brackets. The values can be any valid JSON data type, such as a string, number, boolean, object or array. Here is also an example of arrays. JSON data types. Strings. Strings are used to represent a sequence of characters enclosed in double quotes. Example, in quotes, we write hello world. Numbers. Numbers are used to represent numeric values. JSON support both integers and floating point numbers. Example is here. Booleans. Booleans are used to represent true or false values. Example, true or false. Null. Null represents an empty value. Example, objects. Objects are used to represent collections of key value pairs. The key is always a string and the value can be any valid data type. JSON data type. Example, arrays. Arrays are used to represent an ordered list of values. The values can be any valid JSON data type, including other arrays or objects. Example: extracting data from JSON. Loading JSON data from a file. To load JSON data from a file in a programming language, you would typically use a file input or output library to read the contents of the file into a string variable. Then you would use a JSON parsing library to parse the string into a data structure that can be manipulated by your program. Here is an example. In this example, we are using the open function to open the file data.json in read mode and then using the read method to read the contents of the file into a string variable called data.str. We then pass the data.str variable to the json.loads function to parse the JSON data into a Python object called data. Once we have the data loaded into a variable, we can manipulate it as needed. In this example, we are using Python's built-in print function to print the value associated with the name key in the JSON object. Accessing data using key value pairs. In JSON, data is stored in key value pairs within objects. To access data in JSON using key value pairs, you need to know the name of the key that corresponds to the data you want to access. Here is an example. In JSON, data is stored in key value pairs within objects. To access data in JSON using key value pairs, you need to know the name of the key that corresponds to the data you want to access. Here is an example. In this example, we are using dot notation to access the value associated with the name key, the first item in the hobbies array, and the city key within the address objects. Alternatively, you can also use square bracket notation, which allows you to use variables or dynamic expressions to access key value pairs. Here is an example. In this example, we are using square bracket notation with string, literals, variables and expressions to access the same key value pairs as in the previous example. Iterating over JSON data. Iterating over JSON data involves looping through the keys or values in the JSON object or array, depending on the structure of the data. Here is an example. In this example, we are using a for in loop to iterate over the keys of the JSON object. Within the loop, we are using string concatenation to print the key and its corresponding value to the console. Here is an example of iterating over a JSON array in Python. In this example, we are using the json.loads function to parse a JSON string into a Python list of dictionaries. Then we are using a for loop to iterate over each dictionary in the list and print the value associated with the name and the age keys for each object. Note that we need to use the str function to convert the age value to a string before concatenating it with the name value. The next one is parsing data from JSON. Converting JSON data to Python objects. In Python, you can use the built-in JSON module to parse JSON data and convert it into Python objects. Here is an example. In this example, we are using the JSON.loads function to parse a JSON string into a Python object. The resulting object is a dictionary that has the same key value pairs as the original JSON data. You can also convert a Python object back into JSON data using the JSON.dumps function. Here is an example. In this example, we are using the JSON.dumps function to convert a Python dictionary into a JSON string. The resulting string contains the same key value pairs as the original Python dictionary, formatted according to the JSON syntax. JSON module can also handle more complex JSON data structures such as arrays and nested objects. To parse JSON data from a file, you can use the JSON.load function instead of JSON.loads. Here is an example. In this example, we are using the JSON.load function to parse JSON data from a file named data.json and load it into a Python object called data. The resulting object has the same structure as the JSON data in the file. When working with JSON data, there are a few common errors and exceptions that you may encounter. Here are some ways to handle them. Syntax errors. If the JSON data has syntax errors such as missing or misplaced brackets or commas, you can use the JSON.decoder. JSON decoder error exception to catch and handle the error. Here is an example. In this example, we are using a try except block to catch the JSON decode error exception that is raised when the JSON data has syntax errors. The error message is printed to the console along with the specific syntax error that caused the exception. The second one is key errors. If you try to access a key in a JSON object that doesn't exist, you will get a key error exception. You can use the try or except block to catch the exception and handle it appropriately. Here is also an example. In this example, we are trying to access the address key in the Python object dictionary which doesn't exist. We are using a try except block to catch the key error exception that is raised and print a custom error message. The third one is type errors. If you try to access a value in a JSON object or array that doesn't match the expected data type, you will get a type error exception. You can use the try or except block to catch the exception and handle it appropriately. In this example, we are trying to add 10 to the age value in the Python object dictionary, but the value is a string instead of an integer. We are using a try except block to catch the type error exception that is raised and print a custom error message. Application of parsing JSON data. Parsing JSON data is a common task in many programming applications, particularly those that involve web development or working with APIs. Here are a few examples of applications where parsing JSON data is useful. The first application is API development. When developing an API, it is common to use JSON as the data format for the API's responses. In this case, parsing JSON data is necessary to extract the information that the API is returning. The second application is data mining. JSON data can be used to store a wide range of data, and it is often used in data mining applications to store and organize large amount of data. In this case, parsing JSON data is necessary to extract specific pieces of information from the data set. Data visualization. JSON data can be used to store data for visualization such as charts, graphs, and maps. In this case, parsing JSON data is necessary to extract the data needed to create the visualization. The fourth application is web development. JSON is commonly used in web development to transfer data between the client and server. Parsing JSON data is necessary to extract the data that is being sent from the server to the client or vice versa. The last one is Internet of Things. Internet of Things applications often use JSON data to transfer data between devices and servers. In this case, parsing JSON data is necessary to extract the information that is being transferred between devices. Conclusion. JSON is a widely used lightweight data interchange format that is easy to read and write for humans and easy to parse and generate for machines. It is commonly used in web development, data storage and exchange, Internet of Things applications, machine learning and data analysis. Parsing JSON data is a crucial task in many programming applications, particularly those that involve data exchange, storage and manipulation. By understanding how to load, access and manipulate JSON data in Python, programmers can work with a wide range of data sources and use cases. Overall, JSON has become a fundamental tool in modern software development and is likely to remain a key technology in the years to come. Thank you.